Hey, hi, Maureen.
Hi.
Um, welcome to another episode of Real Estate Straight Talk. Today, my guest speaker is Maureen Vincenty, who is an entrepreneur, an author, and a speaker. So she's going to be talking today about how to be legally smart.
Mhm.
So why don't you go ahead, just introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about you, what do you do, and I guess we'll go from there.
Thanks so much for having me. So, yeah, honestly, my background's actually in science. So, did I ever think that I would be anything involved with legal or helping business owners or people do anything legally? No. I went to UCLA. I studied 7 science majors, ended up graduating with my degree in astrophysics and geology.
Wow. That's amazing.
Worked in corporate for 12 years for NASA and EPA. And then I had a lot of health issues in my 20s. I
Hmm.
hit my mom died from stage 4 ovarian cancer when I was in college. And so I started this obsession with health and wellness back then, and then kind of went away with it when she passed, and then got back into it when I was diagnosed with all this autoimmune stuff. So being a scientist, I just got all these degrees in functional gut health and nutrition and just to heal my own body. I used my body as a petri dish for like 8 years. I tried all of it, vegan, carnivore,
Yeah.
these things. And I ended up running like genetic labs and blood work and panels on friends, family, and coworkers and was helping them with autoimmune and diabetes. And they said, well, you should be doing this for a living. I said, I have no clue how to run a business. I'm a scientist. I can fix the people. I was so passionate about it. So about 8 years ago, I left corporate. And that's when I started my entrepreneurial journey. So I had a health consulting business for about 6 years that I loved. And then when COVID hit, like so many of us, it forced me to do a little bit of a pivot. And I had some friends that were involved with Legal Shield as reps, and they kept talking to me about it. And I didn't want anything to do with it. And I kept praying and asking God how I can help people at a lower price point and make a difference.
Mhm.
And this Legal Shield kept coming up. And I was like, I wonder if this is the answer to my prayer. It's just out of my box. So I shifted, I joined that company as a rep. But then about 6 months in, I started researching, found these attorneys online who'd left to help coaches, entrepreneurs, and personal. And I started finding out all the stuff that we need to do as business owners, as entrepreneurs, as individuals to protect our personal assets and business. And I thought, gosh, no one's really teaching this. And all the business coaches I hired, no one was really teaching it. So then I had this vision to found my own educational platform called Legally Smart to help everyone know what they need to know that they don't even know they need to know, and save thousands in the process, and mostly feel empowered and not overwhelmed, I think, with all this heavy stuff. So
Yeah.
that's the
So,
flip.
so basically what you do is help people to protect their assets.
Yeah. So my
Hmm.
slogan that I'm getting trademarked, I love teaching about why we should trademark and when, is protect your empire. So what does that
Hmm.
mean? There's personal, which is like whether you're single or family, really getting your will, basic estate planning, and why that's so important. And then if you're a business owner, whether you own a brick and mortar with W-2s or you just have a side hustle, you have stuff on an Etsy store, what type of contracts do you need to have? What do you need on your website so you don't get fined? Just some basic things. And then online, we live online now. Like we have an online digital DNA basically. So
Hmm.
whether it's password management systems, just basically like my Instagram account was hacked and stolen last year. So it's a nightmare. So all of these things that we can do, really like when I was a health coach too, it's all about knowing what to do to be proactive and preventive versus reactive and defensive. Like we don't want to wait till the thing happens or wait till the diagnosis happens when then we're having to play catch up, or it's causing a lot of stress and maybe a lot more time and money than if we had just done a couple basic things that most people aren't even aware they can do because they don't know
Hmm.
it.
What will be one of those basic things that people can do?
Yeah. So if you are a business owner, this shocked me when I found out, whether it's a website, a landing page, opt-in page, anything you even create in ClickFunnels,
Hmm.
legally required to have a privacy policy on the bottom of every single page. And if you don't and you're caught, it's actually finable minimum $2,500 per person
Hmm.
website. And I got, oh my gosh, I had my health coaching website up there for 6 years. I collected 4,000 emails. I did this online summit. I know for sure there was no privacy policy on the bottom of it. And we think too, oh, we're hiring the virtual assistant, we're hiring the web developer. They might not even know.
The developers that are giving you these websites, right?
Right. They're graphic designers, they're web people. They don't necessarily know the legal things. So that was one thing that shocked me. And then on a personal level, I think it's really just getting a basic will done. You know, I thought, well, I'm young, I'm single, I don't have kids. I always thought of it as this kind of heavy end of life thing. And really everyone should have one, because if something were to happen, I think a lot of people just assume it goes to their husband or kids or family, and the family can just decide. Even pets, if you don't have it written down what you want your assets to go to, it goes into probate, and the court actually, depending on the state, can hold almost 80% of everything that you own as payment for them figuring out how to disperse everything. So especially if you have kids, like, it's really important to have it done and updated. A lot of people buy homes, you know, they maybe got it done 10 years ago, but you always have to get it updated when you move. If you buy a house, did you get married, divorced? So having it revised annually, I think, is really important.
Okay. Yeah. And I think that also with all those wills and purchasing property, like you said, you know, there are different ways of also protect you as a homeowner when you buy property.
Absolutely. And with companies, the reason I also fell in love with Legal Shield so much, even with the personal stuff, it's a low cost subscription membership that kind of works like it's a shared economy model. So every single state has a law firm that's contracted with Legal Shield.
Mm-hmm.
It pays the law firm, but I never realized how much stuff. I always thought, oh, legal, that's so heavy. It's if you did something wrong or you're suing someone.
Mm-hmm.
But the attorneys really can be in your corner to review any legal document before you sign it. So especially with homeowners, like, think about, you know, inspection reports, or if you have issues going back and forth with down payments, or you're renting, or you own rental property and you have tenant issues. Anytime before we sign anything, whether it's business or personal, think about all the times we sign something that we've never fully read or understood. And imagine how awesome it would be to have an attorney, you know, that you're paying $30 a month for versus $500 an hour, that makes it affordable. And now you can have them walk you through everything.
Just review. Yes. Review everything.
It's scary now with, like, you know, things like e-sign and DocuSign, and I'm still guilty of it, even though I have these memberships for personal business, because I'm so, you know, we get so busy. And it's like, sign this legal document. So you open up DocuSign, and before you know it, you've just click, 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 you know,
right.
Filled and endorsed some 20-page legal document. And I'm like, oh, geez, I think I know what I just signed, but I don't really totally know what I just signed. So it's good to know that there's those resources available.
Yeah. So how long have you been doing this now?
Since COVID started, so a little over 2 years.
Yeah, and well, especially now with all the issues and health and different things that are going on, I guess it's a good protection to have this shield. You know,
I had friends call and ask the attorneys what their rights are with vaccinations, write notes for, you know, the kids in school, you know, go after medical claims that they felt were not just. So there's, like, to your point, there's so many things actually that we can use attorneys for when they're affordable. Basically, we're the law firm on retainer for personal or business.
You pay them a retainer, or?
No, you just pay them a monthly membership. So the family membership's $29.95 a month. And that's how it works. It's kind of like AAA. You know, everyone's paying,
right,
but not everyone's calling for flat tires on the side of the road every day.
Correct.
So they're able to be so affordable. It's that shared economy model. Another good analogy is, like, think of it as having really good, like, a Blue Cross HMO. So you pay Blue Cross every month, but then you can go see any doctor you need in the doctor office in any specialty with no copay. But the doctors are there. If you go see them with no Blue Cross, they'll still see you. You're just going to get a really expensive bill in the mail.
Right, right, right. I actually just had a person that moved and their movers did, I'm telling you, they were like so bad and they broke a lot of stuff, and stuff was missing. And of course, now they want to, do something about it. And, they're like thinking, well, what do we do? Do we go to a lawyer? Do we go, who do we contact? Because they aren't getting no answers and getting nowhere with it.
Yeah.
The
And a
moving
lot
company
of
or
people,
the insurance for that matter.
yeah. And so these attorneys will write, actually, this is a crazy story. Someone I know with the membership, I mean, I've used them to, it's a personal story. I've been single for 4 years. I thought, oh, I want to start dating again. Right.
Mhm.
It's like, I'm on my computer all day as an entrepreneur in my place. I'm like, it's hard. I don't want to just go sit at a bar by myself or a restaurant, just wait for some man to come speak to me. Right. So I think online dating. So I created a profile on eHarmony. If you found your husband or wife on eHarmony, I'm not saying anything bad. I know there's great people on there. I had 24 hours and nothing but just the creepiest messages. And I was like, okay, God's giving me my husband on this. So I wanted a refund. I had paid $420 for a year in full subscription because it was discounted. And then since I know how to be legally smart, I actually went to the bottom of the website and I opened up their terms and conditions. And it said, if you cancel within 72 hours, you can get your full refund. I said, okay. So I emailed them. They never responded and they kept charging my card. So I actually used the attorneys at Legal Shield to write a letter on my behalf to get that $400 refund back from eHarmony. And it was easy. They didn't want to deal with the attorneys, but they would not answer me. But in the real world of what we always think is legal, you're not going to pay $500 an hour to have an attorney draft a letter for you to get a $400 refund.
Right, right, yeah.
Any little things, if you're overcharged by a utility company or that deposit, or you have issues with an airline, like a lot of people used them with a lot of travel plans that were changed from COVID to get reimbursed from hotels and airlines. And so, yeah, it's a great resource.
Great, great, great. Well, what would you tell someone that is young and is watching this and maybe, uh, thinking that they don't need this, what would you tell them?
Yeah, I would just think about what we're saving. It's like cost savings now versus having a big thing down the road. And then whether you're an entrepreneur, business owner, right? We need to have attorneys. Like think about Nike or HP or all these big corporations. They do nothing without running it through their legal department. Mm-hmm. So today, think about it. We're paying for a Zoom account. We're paying for our mail list, all these other expenses. That's just having a law firm on retainer is just one of the things that we get to do for our businesses. And then personal, it's, I would say just have fun with it. Start doing all these things. You want to protect your online. You want to have a password management system. You don't want your Instagram account to be hacked like mine was. They pretended to be me, stole $8,000 from friends and family.
Oh, yeah, a lot of that going on. Mm-hmm.
I was a Bitcoin miner and I had made all this money Bitcoin mining. So a lot of it's also protecting your reputation. You want to protect your online reputation as you go out and whatever it is you want to do. If you want to, find your mate, if you want to build a business, it's your reputation is really important and you're working really, really hard to build a life and a legacy for yourself. And it really deserves to be protected. So if we don't take the initiative to protect it, like no one else is really going to do it for us.
Yeah. So with this Legal Shield, are there any plans? It's just one plan that is
the family plan for individuals, and that covers an individual or spouse and dependents under 26. That's one. And then there's several different business plan options that follow the business. Anywhere from $49 a month to $169 a month, depending on the size of the plan you need. Do you have a W-2 employees? Do you need employee handbooks? How many contracts you want reviewed a year? How many collection letters maybe they can do on behalf of the business? If you want trademarks, some of those include trademarks, which is a huge cost savings because without it, trademarks are like $3,000 to $5,000 to get done. And trademarks are important. Don't make the mistake that you own a brand name for something because you own the .com. We all do it. We get the name of an idea for a business and we go to GoDaddy and we find out that it's $2.99 a year to own the website, and we think we own the name. And you could get a cease and desist letter from someone that actually has a trademark on that name. So it's super important for business owners, but from a family perspective too, it's really important. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Maureen, for all this great information. And how can, if somebody's interested in getting the shield, legal shield, how can they contact you?
Yeah, contact me. My phone number is going to be listed below the site. Do I say it now?
Yeah, sure.
Phone number is 310-415-3458. You can also email me at hello@getlegallysmart.com. And then I can just hop on a quick call. I'll recommend what's best. It takes 2 minutes to sign up. And then when you sign up with me, I also have access to a membership portal I can face you in that I created for my clients that has all sorts of legal contract templates for free. So you don't have to spend any money on that. So I'll coach you, make it easy, support you with what you need, give you a checklist so you know what to do personally and or professionally. So yeah, and I love it. I love the support.
Great, great. Well, thank you for the information again. And so you know who to reach if you are in need of, some legal.
Yeah. Let me help you protect.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And if for all your real estate needs, Carla Olivares with eXp Realty, 754-777-3988. And until next time, see you soon. Nice talking to you. Bye-bye.